Hello everyone, this is Sabane Tech. So, 343 Industries has been rebranded to Halo Studios. And like many other people, I am skeptical. So, let's go over my thoughts and go over why I am skeptical. So, let's go with the first point. The graphical showcase they did looks pretty. Halo Infinite's graphical showcase also looked very pretty and promising. Now, I actually don't think the art style is a point of contention at this point in time. I think the biggest thing that's an issue is all of the things that are missing from Halo Infinite, and also the things missing that made previous Halo stories impactful prior to 343. My second point, Halo Studios is building a brand new team, according to the video. But when they were 343 Industries, they were building a brand new team every 18 months with their contractor policy during Halo Infinite. And until that policy changes, I think that they're still going to have the same talent drain problem. Now, moving to Unreal Engine 5, it removes the need to retrain people on a proprietary engine, so yeah, that saves time. So that will allow them to continue rebuilding their entire team every 18 months with less training time. However, my questions in regards to that are, how do you maintain a coherent vision for a project when you are constantly going through and churning the majority of your staff? There's things beyond the engine itself that require retraining each time you have to onboard a brand new person. Also, how do you vet the quality of each new replacement hire on a consistent basis? And how do you maintain morale in a team that won't get to participate in the full development cycle with whatever it is they're working on? I also personally don't think the Slipspace engine was the complete fault of Infinite's failure. Slipspace engine was an updated version of the Blam engine, as were the engines used in Halo 4 and Halo 5. Unfortunately, the policy of not allowing most staff to see a project through to the end, in my opinion, ruined the ability to maintain and update the engine properly. Bungie, they were able to make 5 games in the Blam engine that all received acclaim. If 343 had not been bound to Microsoft's hiring policies, development would likely have been far more efficient. People would have learned the engine and been able to keep their knowledge on the engine through the entire development process, and they could have kept that knowledge for future Halo projects. Instead, people were getting let go before they could get fully proficient in the engine, and the new hires had to start the learning process all over again. So, switching to Unreal Engine 5 alone, in my opinion, won't fix the fundamental structural issues in the way talent pools are being managed by Microsoft. I think it's a band-aid to a problem that didn't have to happen. They kept firing the people who knew how to effectively use the old engine, and that's why they need to now use a new engine that people will know how to use from day one. So, Unreal Engine 5, it's a good engine, I think. It could probably make good Halo games, but again, we have to think about why they're having to make the switch in the first place. They could have kept using the old engine if it was actually doing what they needed it to do, but it's incompatible with their hiring policies, so Unreal Engine, I guess, will be a better fit for that. So my next point is, whatever new hires that may come into the company need to be proven veterans with the track record of putting out quality games. I think that at the bare minimum, Jamie Grisimer, Joseph Staten, Martin O'Donnell, and any other former Halo era Bungie staff need to be brought on as consultants. I know Joseph Staten was brought on for Halo Infinite, but I feel like there was only so much they could actually do, being given a sinking ship to start with. We need more people from the original Bungie team helping out. Now, it might not be cheap to bring on these people as consultants, but if Microsoft wants future Halo games to succeed, why not learn directly from the mouths of the people who made the franchise what it is to begin with? And at least for me, unless I hear some involvement of some of the names I've listed, or hear that they are actually hiring some amount of original Bungie developers from the Halo era, the words are just talk until I see the next entry of the franchise. And the contract hire culture needs to end if Halo Studios wants to truly thrive and learn from each game they make. Actually hire staff as full-time employees. My next point. Halo Studios is claiming to move on from the way 343 Industries did things. So, here's some action that I would probably have to see beyond just an engine change. Put the 343 games and surrounding content into their own timeline for preservation purposes, similar to how the Halo TV show had its own timeline. This way, the art isn't necessarily invalidated. However, make 343 content no longer part of the main Halo story timeline. 343 will be known as a company that never finished its story arcs, and at this point, it is what it is. If Microsoft is committed to moving on from 343 Industries, it needs to be done fully. So basically, reset the primary story timeline back to the ending of Halo 3. I would like to see a story where maybe humanity deals with the implications of trying to reclaim the technology left behind by their forefathers, the human forerunners. Who gets to hold control of the technology? Will there be a human civil war over who gets to take control now that the Human Covenant War is basically concluded? What about the elites? Will they pick sides with different human factions? If Master Chief were to be part of this new reset timeline, how many years later does he wake up? Has humanity finally rebuilt, repopulated, and recovered from the damage that the Human Covenant War caused? I also think that the cryosleep plot point allows a unique chance to pick any new time period that we want for the start of a new story. Halo 3 ends the original Halo story for the most part, but if it's going to be continued, I think there's many different implications to explore beyond just making some all new powerful big bad enemy. When the life-threatening conflicts are resolved in a story, sometimes new smaller conflicts arise from within. You could get into more political things, maybe. And when I say political things, I mean like politics within the lore of the Halo universe. Like, how does the UNSC deal with, populations maybe wanting to splinter and do different things and yada yada, in-universe things. Now, for multiplayer, I think the paid battle pass system needs to go away. While I understand making games is a business, and it's possibly leaving money on the table, I think that player goodwill could earn a lot more money if the game is good enough. If it's good enough, people will want to spend full price on the game. For me, I have not continued to engage in the multiplayer of Halo Infinite, primarily due to the heavy monetization, and so I actually don't have much more I can comment on in regards to fixing the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I very quickly just went back to MCC. So, to summarize my points, I have no doubt that they can probably execute on the art style Halo Infinite proved that Microsoft was on the right track. Their Unreal Engine 5 art demo kind of proves this. The contract hire situation needs to end. Simply switching to Unreal Engine 5 won't rectify the fact that they are hiring the majority of their staff on contracts. It mainly just softens the negative impact of wanting to continue that hiring trend. Also, hire on people with a track record for putting out quality games, and consult the veterans who made the original games succeed. Keep people for at least the production of a full game, and longer for sequels, if the staff is willing to stay. Reset the Halo story timeline to pre-343 game titles. This won't make everyone happy, but I would personally pick a storyline that is actually completed and actually finished its intended story beats over the studio that was unable to complete any of their story beats. If Microsoft wants to move away from 343 Industries, they should fully commit to that. Also, work on selling a feature-complete game at launch, instead of nickel and diming players on customization options. Halo sold just fine without these monetary practices in the past, and they really don't need them now. Especially not with Halo and its current reputation. I think that's pretty much everything. In order to reclaim what once was, Microsoft needs to fire the Halo array on all the remnants of 343's work, and make sure no spores are left behind. If Halo Studios wants to be the reclaimer of this franchise, it needs to rebuild on what the forerunners at Bungie left behind. Time will tell if the studio reboot will be able to execute with its next entry. Now, for those who are unaware, I started working on my own ring exploration game. I've already got functioning weapons and dual wielding, and I'm currently working on the enemy AI system. Once the game mechanics are fully fleshed out, then I'll probably start working on polishing the art. But I need to make something that is fun to play first. So yeah, that's everything. I'll see you guys next time. I do live stream my game development stuff, so if you want to see me work on my ring exploration game, you probably can. And with that all said, I will see you guys next time.